From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, June 22nd. We're going to see an upper low to our southeast scoot closer to our state and bring in some more widespread cloud cover. This is going to cause temperatures to be a little bit cooler today with numbers in the upper 70s to low 80s. Is a chance for isolated showers throughout the day before that coverage turns more scattered Thursday night into Friday. Winds are going to be a tad breezy as well, but overall, a pretty nice day in store. Eastbound 465 is back open as of 5 o'clock this morning. It was closed for the last 3 weeks as a key part of the project in the final link of I-69. Now we brace for another shutdown. NDOT says the I-69 extension is the realization of 75 years of studies and discussions about an improved multi-lane highway connecting southwest Indiana. Crews worked for 3 weeks between Kentucky Avenue and East Street, moving dirt, building bridges, and installing pipes. For now, NDOT says the ramps will be opened in a sequence. Then starting July 7th, the westbound side will shut down.
Crews will be just kind of finishing up what they did on one side to the other side. So again, constructing those bridges, paving operations, stormwater operations, all the stuff we did on one side, we're doing on the other. So we're looking forward to another successful 3-week closure.
The westbound lanes are set to be closed through July 29th. When work is complete, I-69 will run continuously from the Canadian border at Port Huron, Michigan, to Evansville. The project is expected to be completely finished by the end of 2024. And this morning, there was a huge police presence on the Near East Side, Tuxedo Street near Michigan and Sherman. Police didn't confirm exactly what was going on, and we're still trying to confirm whether it was related to a new phase in a federal operation that was announced yesterday. The director of the U.S. Marshals Service met with local law enforcement leaders yesterday. He says the third phase of what's called Operation North Star focuses on active warrants for murder, sexual assault, and drug dealing.
The men and women of the task force have been doing this every day. So whether we call it North Star or Tuesday, they're still out there basically tracking down and doing a great job. But this would be providing additional resources, additional overtime funds, and some opportunities for more people to get involved.
Authorities say Operation North Star led to more than 60 arrests in Indianapolis last year, including fugitives, gang members, sex offenders, and violent criminals. The operation started with an initial 30-day blitz last year and has renewed twice more with new pushes. And if you were watching Daybreak this morning, you saw us covering some other breaking news on the Near East Side. Indianapolis police say somebody was shot dead inside a vehicle there. IMPD found him at 4:15 this morning in a vacant lot next to a vacant property on Dearborn Street. It's near Michigan and Rural. Investigators aren't sure where he was shot. They found one of the vehicle's windows damaged, but didn't know if it was because of a bullet. Police are now asking people who live nearby to check their home surveillance video. So far, no word of any arrests.
The death of my brother, as I said earlier, affects my entire family. He was the youngest child, my mother's only boy, loved by many, missed by everyone.
The sister of former IU football player Chris Beaty speaks at the sentencing hearing for the trio convicted of Beaty's murder. A judge sentenced Marcus Anderson, Elijah Jones, and Nakia Shields yesterday to more than 100 years each for their roles in Beaty's death. 164 for Anderson and Jones, 108 for Shields. Prosecutors say the three were robbing people at gunpoint during the 2020 riots, and Beaty tried to stop them. Investigators say Anderson then shot Beaty to death. The trio had the chance to speak at yesterday's hearing as well.
Feel where you guys come from, and I just want you to know that I'm sorry for your loss.
I want the families and my family to know that I'm sorry that the situation took place and that I'm also hurting. This situation is not, it will never be okay.
Beaty's sister spoke to IT Mate about the losses for all involved, including the families of those now sentenced.
We lost out people-wise. Their children are losing. Their family is losing. Our family lost. So there really is never any justice. It's just a loss.
Anderson, Jones, and Shields all say they plan to appeal the sentences. Governor Eric Holcomb says he will not run for U.S. Senate next year. He made the comments to our News 8 government reporter, Garrett Berquist.
Because I'm busy. I was brought up that busy boys were better boys, and to focus, keep your eye on the ball. And we've got a lot in the pipeline. If I was sitting around throwing pencils in the ceiling tile, maybe I would have had time to think about something else. But right now, I'm going to finish the job that I started.
Holcomb is the latest high-profile Republican to decline a Senate bid. U.S. Representative Jim Banks is currently the only Republican in the running. And Holcomb is endorsing former Indiana Governor and Vice President Mike Pence in his bid for the White House. Pence shared Holcomb's endorsement on social media yesterday. It says, "I've known Mike Pence for decades. Throughout those years, he's remained as honest as the day is long. Never once has he sacrificed an ounce of integrity in service of our state and nation as Congressman, Governor, and Vice President." Attorney General Todd Rokita wants the State Court of Appeals to review a Marion County judge's decision on the state's abortion ban. He filed an appeal yesterday to a Class Act lawsuit filed by Hoosier Jews for Choice and the ACLU of Indiana. The groups claim the near-total abortion ban violates Indiana's religious freedom law. As we've reported, multiple court decisions have blocked the law from being enforced. The state Supreme Court has not yet issued its ruling on the law's constitutionality in a separate case it heard arguments on in January. Rescue crews searching for the missing Titanic tourist sub say the passengers aboard will run out of oxygen this morning if they are still alive. Rescuers have rushed more ships to the search area. Crews say they have again detected banging sounds from deep in the water as they worked to narrow a search area said to be twice the size of Connecticut. Authorities estimate the sub had a 4-day supply of oxygen when it set out early Sunday morning. Search leaders insist they still have hope.
This is a search and rescue mission, 100%. We'll continue to put every available asset that we have in an effort to find the Titan and the crew members.
The company that runs the sub had warnings that the craft could find a catastrophic fate. A newly uncovered engineering report from 2018 said the submersible needed more testing and could put passengers in danger as it reached extreme depths. An expert from Purdue University says more resources are needed to make such submersibles more reliable. Nina Mahmoodian is an associate professor of mechanical engineering. She builds robots that explore deep waters. She says remote-operated vehicles need better autonomy and better algorithms for safer exploration. She says despite the OceanGate mission, it's still important to explore the ocean. Mahmoodian adds that the biggest challenge for the OceanGate search mission is the depth. And the plea is not guilty for the Massachusetts Air National Guardsman accused of leaking highly classified military documents. Jack Teixeira appeared in a hearing in federal court yesterday. He's been in custody since his arrest in April. Teixeira is accused of using the social media platform Discord to share classified documents about the war in Ukraine and other national security topics. He faces 6 counts, each carrying up to 10 years in prison. Tornadoes tear through Texas, killing at least 3 people. The storms hit the north-central part of the state in the region known as Rolling Plains. In the town of Matador, a dollar store collapsed in the wind, leading to one of the deaths. Winds reached 100 miles an hour, and hail the size of softballs hit the area, leading to power outages. Less than a week ago, 3 other people died in severe weather in the Texas Panhandle. Now to the Pacers. The team will head into tonight's NBA draft with a 7th overall pick, looking to add to its already young roster. The Pacers will send the 29th and 32nd overall picks to the reigning NBA champions, Denver Nuggets. In return, Denver is sending the 40th overall pick and a 2024 first-round pick. This leaves the Pacers with just 4 picks tonight, number 7, 26, 40, and 55. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard said he knows he needs to find the right pieces to get the team back in the playoffs.
Such a good group that it's important that we keep adding these quality young men. You know, there's a saying in the league that sometimes I kind of feels really important. And I'd rather lose with the right guys than win with the wrong. Yeah, okay, maybe you could say that. But you have to have a little bit of a balance. You have to have some really good guys, and then sometimes you need, more than just milk drinkers.
Tonight's draft begins at 8 o'clock. And Lucas Oil Stadium is giving the Pacers an assist. The home of the Colts will turn into a multi-purpose event center to host the All-Star Saturday Night Skills Challenges. All-Star Game Host Committee made the announcement yesterday. Crews will set up 35,000 seats around the court in the south end of the stadium. The north end will then be used to host concerts. All-Star Saturday Night 2024 will be February 17th. Tickets for the Skills Challenge events go on sale July 24th. Gainbridge Fieldhouse will then host the All-Star Game Sunday, February 18th. And today, new changes in the construction at 146th and Allisonville Road. Hamilton County leaders say one lane of 146th will reopen in each direction, but you'll no longer be able to make left turns onto Allisonville. Crews are also closing off access to several neighborhood streets. Work is set to last through October. And Wish TV is happy to announce an extension of the Great Pasta Push. Donors are now stepping up to match monetary donations through the end of the month. The need is great. Second Helping says it takes $7 to feed a family of 4, and now your donation will be doubled. If you can, go to wishtv.com, go to the Great Pasta Push page there, and that is where you can easily make an online donation. And to business headlines, Logitech stock was hit by reports that its $30 game controller was used to steer the missing submarine, the one I talked about earlier that searchers are frantically looking for, possibly 2 miles in the ocean's depths. The stock is down 18% this month so far. And Fed Chair Jerome Powell tells Congress to expect higher interest rates. In day one of a 2-day testimony, Powell said they took a break on interest rate hikes this month to let the series of hikes settle into the economy. Bank of America says the cost of building a new home is rising at an unprecedented rate. The price of lumber alone is higher as demand for new homes soars. Cultivated meat producers, Upside Foods, and Good Meat received approval from the Department of Agriculture to begin commercially selling their chicken products. Lab-grown meat is produced in large steel tanks using animal cell manipulation. Lab-grown meat producers say the practice of creating consumable meat products through cell cultivation technology eliminates harm to animals and combats environmental impact. Apple has been trying to trademark the apple in Switzerland since 2017. Because the case is ongoing and requires consent from Apple, the IPI couldn't disclose details of its request, but it involves uses for audio-visual footage. Apple farmers are worried and confused by this request. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.